And Manny's like, what? Why are you gonna call yourself Ashley LaCroix? And I'm thinking, because it's gold, because we're gonna be heels.
Yeah, and people are gonna fucking.
And here comes this asshole who's
the
got
girl's
a
name.
girl's name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Manny just didn't see this at first. So I'm like, just trust me, I'll do it. It'll work. Just let me be called Ashley LaCroix. If you don't like it, you can change my name. You pick it.
Yeah.
I don't even give a fuck what you do. So we go out there, we work the first tag match, and the first thing happens.
Of course.
Ashley.
I remember
Ashley.
that.
Yeah. So it got over like instantly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it kind of stuck with. And it's funny because I did kind of stick with the
I mean,
the
to a
movie
certain
star.
extent, they kind of stuck with you, and now that you're still like a superhero Hollywood star,
Yeah, because you got the the promos with the special effects.
So it's like and it's kind of funny, and that actually reminded me what we forgot to talk about with NYWC, the infamous Russian gimmick.
Oh shit!
I
think you should have stuck with this gimmick. I think we would have made your career so much bigger.
Like I was talking about before, when it comes to Shane, sometimes it's really hard to kind of just get his attention. So I'm gonna give you the overview of what happened when me and Ashley first went to NYWC. We get in there, and within 2 weeks, I'd say, Crusher Dugan realized I really kind of did a lot of training before, and you two. And he's like, all right, so did you do enough training that you can at least work like a mini match? I'm like, Crusher, yeah, I did. He goes, okay. So we do a mini match, and he's really high on me, and he was high on you too. And he's like, he told me personally, you guys start coming up with some stuff that you might want to do on shows because you never know, it could happen really soon. So me and Ashley come up with this whole idea of how I would basically do the gimmick I'm doing now, which is that I'd be, a professional wrestler that is not only a shooter, but wants to take out sports entertainment, eliminate it because it feels that it disrespects the origins of wrestling, catch wrestling, like Frank Gotch and George Hackenschmidt. So it's the same idea, except the whole idea that I had was I would never speak directly to the fans because I feel it's their fault that this happened, and Ashley would speak for me as my manager. And after a year or two, we would eventually have a break-off where Ashley would become his own gimmick and we would have a big blow-off match. Now,
I remember this idea.
So I pitched this to Shane, and Shane gives me the infamous Shane face and Shane eyes where he goes, all right, yeah, okay. Why don't we, I'll think about it. He comes back to me like 2 weeks later and goes, all right, I got an idea. I'm like, all right, great, I can't wait for this. He goes, I'm thinking maybe we make you foreign, and we're going to make you mute. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, we're going to make you foreign and mute. I'm like, why? He's like, I just think foreign gets heat, even though I knew my gimmick would get heat. I'm like, all right. He's like, what country's good for like amateur wrestling or shoot wrestling? I'm like, well, Russia. He goes, well, that's it. Sold. You're Russian. Fuck. Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to be Russian.
Because that, you don't know a lickle of Russian.
Yeah, I don't know how. I can't do a Russian accent. I can do Arnold any day. I can do all types of accents, but I can't do Russian. So... But then I hear a saving grace, Then at this point, Pat Buck took over as a trainer, so all my shit with Crusher goes out the window. Obviously, it's my luck. And so I can't have a match at the Norman clinic. But he goes, Norman's coming in. All you students are gonna cut a promo. And I'm like, he's like, you can do whatever you want. I'm like, great. I'm gonna do my gimmick that I want to do, and I'm gonna cut a promo as like the protector of professional wrestling. Yeah. And if Norman likes it, then Shane has got to go for it because he's sitting there with Pat Buck evaluating. So I go up there and I cut this promo like I normally do now. If you haven't heard my promos before, check them out online. I don't feel like cutting one right now. And I do the whole, I want to kill sports entertainment, and I do it. And Norman goes, that was really good, man. He's like, I liked it a lot. And he's like, that's a great idea. It's original. It's a different way to be a shoot wrestler in today's day and age. I like it a lot. And I'm like, great. And I'm fucking happy as shit. And I'm talking to Ashley about it. And he's like, yeah, it's fucking awesome. And all the boys like, wow, that was a really good promo. You really have some, some skills here. So I go up to Shane after the clinic, and I have this big shit-eating grin on my face. And I'm like dancing. I feel like I'm Ric Flair. I'm like, woo, motherfucker. And I'm like, so Shane.
You were happy that day.
No, I was so happy. And I'm like, so Shane, what do you think? So, what do you think about my gimmick? Yeah, that Russian thing's really gonna work out, kid. I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah, he totally just ignored
They totally just no-sold it and acted like.
It's funny because from that too, though, because the original idea for the whole gimmick, protector, the predecessor for the protector professional wrestling gimmick was me and you would be the team. And for a while we actually had matches as a tag team called the Eye of Providence.
Yeah, we did.
Which was kind of like the foundation of
what we're gonna do.
And I was just gonna be a manager. And then I remember that day I cut the promo too.
Yeah, you did, and you cut a
spot on promo. And like Norman Smiles' exact words was like, he was like, there's three different types of promos. There's promos that make everybody mad with you, or make them mad. He's like, then there's the ones that make people cry and feel sympathy or stuff like that, and then there's ones that are just funny. That just run with humor and go with it. He's like, you took the third idea and you just ran with it. Yeah. Ran with it. So the problem became the problem, and it was the whole Ashley LaCroix superpowers. I was talking about my superpowers.
Yeah, he's being himself.
That
he is now.
And But the problem came was
Shane loved that one.
Yeah, Shane loves that, right? So then Shane's like, he's looking at me and he's like, oh, well, let's not make you a manager, let's make you a wrestler. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And he's like, yeah, we'll make you a wrestler and we'll make you like the Hurricane. And I'm like, oh man. So then I'm like, he's like, and then we had to do that Rooks of Crooks, whatever the fuck it was, Battle Royal
nonsense.
So we all had to do like gear check and everything like that, and I went and got the gold outfit and everything like that, whatever. And then went from there. Oh, I got a new outfit, by the way. I don't know if I told you.
You got the silver.
I got the silver ones right over
there.
Oh
yeah, I'll check it out after.
So yeah, it's be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's funny how things worked out. And of course, and I want everyone to understand. Me and Ashley had been, we had a good significant amount of training. Like I can't put that over enough. A lot of people I don't talk about it a lot, but guys like Mike Magnum and Javier and James Newblood and Chris Caliber, they really worked a lot with us before we went to NYWC, where we really went to NYWC and we learned, we were building off a foundation, and from there I really polished my skills. They definitely made me what I am today, but I had a really good understanding of wrestling. So me and him had already basically mapped out a whole feud. Like, the point of him being a manager was to lead to a big feud where we would eventually wrestle each other. And unfortunately how it turned out, it just
because we had ideas like even during when we were together, we'd do tag matches, and that would be kind of my slowly getting introduced to the wrestling.
And he'd be like the cowardly heathen manager, and he finally,
But eventually, as time progressed, you can kind of see me becoming a little bit more legitimate, because think about it, I'm teaming with this guy who's nothing but legitimate. So something has to.
I have to. I can teach him something, or I can do something in that respect.
So, and that was the idea. So by the time we do this whole blow off, it probably wouldn't even be a wrestling match, as
more of a fight.
It would be more of a fight, and however we worked it, it wouldn't matter if I stayed heel or if I went face.
But if you're face, you can just show that you have chops. Even if I won or lost, you would, give me enough fight that people go, wow, this guy really can, go in there. Exactly. It doesn't matter how big he is.
And then you can morph into the superhero character.
Right. But, I'm not saying that was part of the reason I left, but I really hated, I was Azure Kharkov, and I hated that character with such a passion. I will say one of my shining moments in NYWC is I got to work with Tony Mamaluk, and
that was a good match.
Yeah, it was, and I took a clothesline from him where I spiked my head, and he loved me from that point on. He's he was mad at me because that day I wasn't actually booked to wrestle, and I remember I was flyering, and I took too long flyering. And I got there late, and he's like, "Oh, this kid shows up late," and I guess he didn't know, and I wasn't gonna go, "Oh no," make excuses. I'm like, "I'm sorry." And after the match, he's like, "I was mad at you at first, but I'm not mad at you at all. That was awesome. You really, you got a future here." Yeah. And I always remembered that, but thank God I did leave, because I got to really make a name for myself. I went over to MVW, and Mike Morgan really, liked me a lot, and I got to prove that the Jack Gallow character that I came up with, with Drew.
Yeah.
And now, whether I'm babyface or heel, which now people like me, which I don't know why they started liking me.
Yeah, because it's like I told you on the phone a couple of days ago. I was like, people, they can tell bullshit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? If you're authentic, it doesn't matter what you're doing, as long as you believe it.
Yeah, you can believe. Yeah.
The people.
And people identify real. Like The Rock,
they can see that. It's like it's the superhero thing. It's like, I don't really think I'm a superhero, but I have so much fun with it. I think people can see it.
Yeah, people see that you want to be that guy.
Yeah, because Tony jobs me out all the time. So it's not like they're cheering for me to win.
Yeah.
We got it's funny because we're running out of time. We got maybe 4 minutes or something like that. Yeah, we got about 4 minutes left or so. We didn't even talk about TRU.
Our baby.
Plug our own baby. What a shame.
Well, let's just talk about that real quick then, while we have the chance.
Yeah, might as well.
I'll get into TRU. The reason why I wanted to do TRU, a lot of the reason is, I had a really good opportunity when after I went to NYWC and stuff. There's a lot of guys that I did some work with, like I said, Javier, and people helped train a few of us. And there's a lot of guys like Little T and Ricky, and there's guys like Damon Knight and Kerrick James, and these are a lot of guys who not only have a lot of talent that hasn't been tapped, but are really good guys that are passionate about wrestling, that I wanted to give the same opportunity to that I had. And Ashley, if you don't know, he was, he helped book XWA. He really did book it. And he has a great mind when it comes to booking shows. Always has, and he's the one who really came up with the idea we had for NYWC. So he wanted to start booking again, and I wanted to give back in any way I could and give the fans a product that is original and fun. I want people to go to wrestling shows like I used to. Like, this is going to be cool as shit. It's going to be different. I'm going to be part of the show, kind of like that ECW feel in that respect. And so we put our brains together, and Ashley, you can go ahead and give the rest of it.
So basically, we were thinking about this, and we can't neglect Jerry, because Jerry.
Oh, I'm sorry, completely, Jerry.
And Jerry, it's funny because me and Jerry,
such an idiot.
we agree on so many things, and then there's so many things that we don't agree on.
But he's
really fair to work with.
Yeah, and he keeps your ego in check, and he keeps your ideas in check. If it sucks, he'll tell you it sucks.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and which is good. You know what I'm saying? Because you always have to have that other side.
Mm-hmm.
And Jerry's excellent. You know what I'm saying? He's got a lot of experience booking because he does the whole pre-show for FTW, and everything like that. He's been doing that for like a year and a half.
And he really honed his skills doing that.
Yeah.
You know?
So and he's good talent. He's good talent.
Beard Life, check them out.
But so it came down to me, Gallow, and Jerry, and we were gonna do this whole wrestling promotion. We were gonna call it TRU Wrestling,
and I was gonna be the one basically work with the workers.
And then eventually Mike Magden came, and he got placed into this. So it kind of broke down where you and Magnum kind of were guys there to training these guys
character development
because it's this big thing. Like a lot of companies, and it makes sense. They have their own way of training their own guys. This way everybody's on the same page. So everybody calls it the WWE style. They have that style for a reason. These guys are on the road 300 days a year, and it works. Imagine how many botches there would be on WWE if they didn't have this style.
It's good. It hides the weaknesses in a sense where it's positives.
So you and Mike have essentially been the guys who are going to do and train these guys to wrestle the TRU style.
Yeah.
That we were going to promote. And then, me and Jerry are more so, there to book matches and come up with ideas and do all these things. But yeah, no, we're going to be definitely doing more TRU shows. We did the first one September 18th. Just last month.
And it was great. I had a great time.
Jay Lethal was on the card.
Grim Reaper was there. And both of them had a great time. They both want to come back.
Yeah. And, so they'll probably see that. And it's a good roster. And a lot of the guys on the roster are guys who are relatively unknown on the independent scene.
But they
deserve that spot, that chance to shine.
And what's great is you can follow them from the start of their career, literally from the start. So when they, as they progress.
Because we can go off the top, ahead with just names, guys people don't probably know. You know what I'm saying? But yet these are legitimate guys. Tommy O'Daniel. Oh my God, Tommy O'Daniel got such rave reviews about what he did.
And he didn't do much. He had like a 5-minute match because he's very green when it comes to his work. But when it comes to comedic timing and really caring about giving the fans an entertaining show, he can do that.
Yeah, and so he got rave reviews, and Little T's another one that I think
Little T has all the talent in the world.
He's gonna blow up. I honestly think Damon Knight's gonna blow up.
Damon Knight's great.
I personally, Ricky is
another guy who's gold.
If you don't see the money in Ricky,
then
you don't have the wrestling mind to see the money.
Yeah, what that can be. The Bronx Bombers.
Yeah, Bronx Bombers. CJ is really good on the mic. Yeah. But like I said, I'm a huge fan of
Reyes is great too. Reyes is another guy.
I really think Reyes is he's like that one step away from just breaking out and fully being what he is supposed to be.
A full dynamic superstar.
And I'm so excited to watch guys like him develop.
Yeah. I want to see them succeed.
Yeah, and and that's the beauty. I think we have a promotion in which they can do that. Yeah, even guys like Scott. Scott's in his 30s and he's just now trying to get. And it's like
Scott's a guy
you can't. If that works that way, it's like by the time he blows up, he's gonna probably be pushing 40.
But you know what? DDP did it. You never say never.
It has that old school blue collar, underdog story to it in that sense. But yeah, there's a lot of good talent. Working on the website now. I've been working on the edits for the
show,
the actual show. So we're gonna put it on the TRU Wrestling Facebook page. So yeah, if you go to Facebook, you type in TRU Wrestling. On the little search thing, will probably pop up. So make sure you like that. The more you like it, the better. And hopefully we could bring more product to the masses. But so I think we're just about out of time. So let's wrap it up. Any last things you want to say?
The last thing I'll do is I want to put over Ace Pro Wrestling. We didn't talk about that enough, which we will more. That's my home company, I like to call it. It wasn't where I was born, it's where I grew up. And I want to put over that we have a show. The next one coming back is December 10th. I get to beat the holy hell out of Jay Lethal again, 1-on-1 this time. That's going to be a match that I'm really looking forward to, and I think we're really going to tear the house down. So definitely come check that out.
What is it?
www.acepro-wrestling.com. So I have a brand new website. I want to put over. I work for Warriors of Wrestling. I have a lot of stuff coming up with them too. MVW. Check out your pro wrestling. I'll be working there. And I might be showing up in Long Island soon. I don't want to say what feds, but just be on the lookout. Gallow's coming back to Long Island.
So all right. So yeah. So what do you think? another month we'll do another one of these.
Yeah, or maybe even sooner. Fuck it, we'll just do them whenever. And if you people don't like it, too fucking bad. No, I'm kidding. I hope you guys had a good time listening to me and him bullshit.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit.